I'm starting out with a 6-inch Bacote wood blank that is cut in half at 3 inches each. The end is trimmed with a 1/8 inch parting tool. This is our cap diagram. Going to be using a 1/2 inch drill bit, drilling 1.5 inches deep. Step 2, we're going to be using a 33/64 inch drill bit for the same 1.5 inches deep. Step 3, we're going to be using a 3/8 inch drill bit, 2.5 inches deep. Step 4, we're using a 14mm triple start thread going in about a 1/2 inch deep. Step 5, we put about 3 layers of thin CA glue, letting it dry naturally without any accelerator. Okay, so on this video, this is going to be for the cap right here. I don't think that thread is actually going to hold, so I'm going to drill this out a little bit wider, and I'm going to insert this 1/2 inch plug of ebonite, drill it out and tap it again for the 14mm triple start thread. And then I'm going to make this 1 inch piece from here to here. I'm going to turn that down. That is going to be 14mm triple start thread, 1 inch total, and then that is going to be inserted into here, and a 1/2 inch inside, and it's going to protrude out 1/2 inch. And then the remaining piece, 1 3/8 inch from here to here, that will be used for the section which will hold our nib. Okay, so for the cap, we're going to line this with some Japanese ebonite, and I have this marked right here in 19/32 by a 1/2 inch. That's where that graphite line is. And I do things the easy way, since I'm not a machinist, and these are some calipers I bought at a garage sale and I don't really know how to use them. So what I do, this is the drill bit that I use. I just measure this according to the drill bit or whatever it is I'm using, and then that is how I know that I'm going to be exactly right when I'm turning this down to size. So if you know what you're doing, great, lucky you. But me, this works for me. So since I'm self-taught, this is the only way I know how to do it. So anyway, that's what works. We'll go ahead and turn that down to size. Okay, that's turned down to size, 19/32. Now we just need to drill this out, starting out with a 1/2 inch, and then we'll finish it up with a 33/64, and then I can tap it on the inside with a triple start. So in order for me to make sure I'm only going this deep over here, I'm using this as a stop to position that there, and I'm marking this right there, so that is this deep for 1/2 inch, or what I have marked right there. So I know when I'm drilling this out, I'm within that tolerance, so that when I do my next turning down to 14mm for the triple start threads, I know that I'll be okay when I do that part next. So this is kind of a thin wall. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to part this off and then drill out the blank, insert that, glue it, and then I'll tap it. Otherwise, I don't want to take a chance at splitting that. Okay, so this is drilled out, 19-30 seconds. This is 19-30 seconds. I sanded it up a little bit because it was a little tight, but that will fit in there. And I'm just going to use some Gorilla Glue and then let that set overnight. Okay, so now that's set and I got it under pressure with the tailstock pushing it in. That's going to set overnight. When I said I use Gorilla Glue, this is Gorilla Glue Super Glue, like a CA glue. And this is more of a thick glue. So I'm not using the thin CA on this one like I normally use thin CA on everything. But this works really good and I don't have to use accelerator with this stuff. So I threaded the cap off camera. Okay, so for the cap, where we left off, we just put the ebonite on the inside and put some threads on there. So we're going to go ahead and put that on the mandrel. And on the other side, I already have it dimpled for the live center. Lock that in place. And then we're just going to go ahead and turn that one down in just a second here. Now I want to get this a little bit thicker than that, about 18 millimeters, which is the thickness of this right here. So that's 18. That's an ebonite rod, so I don't want the cap too thick. It's just a little bit less than what that is, and then we'll taper that down towards the top. I reversed this right here real quick in the chuck. I just want to put a small chamfer on the front end for the cap where this meets the body like this. So I don't want a straight ridge. If I get a nice little taper where it joins and then meets it, I think it looks a lot better. That's just my personal taste. That looks pretty good to me. So I know where I want to get my, this is just a basic cap diagram. Actually, it's full scale size also. So I know my taper is going to be just beyond this point, like right about there. So I know where that's going to, that'll be my taper. Too bad so far. Just going to sand all that down to shape and then put a coat of wax on it, and I think we'll be golden. So here's what that cap looks like. See how that joins into the body really nice with the triple start thread. Next step is just to make the clip for it. And I'll line that on the long grain so that shows off the side of the grain really nice. The clip is made from a 50 caliber cartridge. The cartridge is cut in half, then flattened out, cut out on the bandsaw to shape, and then finished and sanded and polished to final shape.